Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Commodities Update video. This is where I do weekly analysis on natural gas, oil, US dollar, gold, and silver. We'll be looking at their support and resistance levels, as well as the most likely scenario where I think price will head to later this week. And if you guys are looking for the stock market updates, and as well as the Mag 7, check out the previous video, and let's get started on the commodities. So pretty much for me, I'm currently on the 4-hour time frame, and we pretty much hit the overall resistance this week. You can see right here on this trend line, it's a rejection right there. So we zoom out, right? We zoom out to the bigger picture, and we can see that it's been rejecting from that channel overall for a while. So we can see multiple rejections here, probably 7 rejections here, another one here, right? Another one here, and we just touched it this Wednesday and tested it and rejected it from there. So bigger picture for me, right? We're trading this channel, right? Bounce, 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 4, 5, 6. Came close to it, right? And then so we're looking for pretty much longer term picture. This is where I'm looking at, right? Resistance and support. So now let's zoom in a little bit because it's a pretty big range, right? From the top to the bottom is 25%. That's for like longer term position traders where they look for, adding these lows and holding until a certain kind of pattern breaks. But for shorter term traders, let's zoom in to the 4-hour. And currently, this is what I'm looking at, right? It's looking like a falling wedge here. Resistance, resistance, resistance. So 4 rejections, but support is only 2 bounces so far. So the support line is not as valid at the moment. This could just drill through and form some other patterns. But for now, let's see if it does come down here around this level. This 3.7 level is pretty much coinciding with this prior resistance right here and this resistance, right? So prior resistance, meaning price is above it. So when we do come down to it, we want to see it act as support as a bull. So if we do come down here, right, if it bounces from here, then this falling wedge pattern is valid. We got 3 touches on this trend line afterwards. And then we have a confluence of signals where this was prior resistance, now acting as support. That'd be a good sign for the bulls. Falling wedge is a bullish pattern, especially on a strong momentum up. Usually we get a falling wedge. Ideally, we don't want to retrace this much. Falling wedge could be a bull flag, but this is not a bull flag anymore. We retrace about, I think, we're already over 38.2% the fair retracements. So, but if we bounce from here and then we break bull from here, yeah, that's what usually a falling wedge does, especially in a strong momentum move, prior move. But with natural gas, it likes to go both ways, right? It likes to test the bottom of the range and the top of the range over and over, especially it's a very volatile name. So you got to know the kind of instrument you're trading. If this was the chart for S&P 500, I would say this, I would be like a lot more confident that this would bounce here and then break a bull and then back test the highs. But this is natural gas, so it's a little bit different. So if we do break through here, this 37.3, then I'm looking down closer to this 3.3, which is a key level battleground right here, right? Resistance, 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 back test of support, support, support. Now price is below it, back test of resistance, and resistance finally got over it. So if we do come down here, if we break through here for bears, I'm looking down at this 3.3. And then if we break that, then I'm looking down closer to this longer term support trend line where we just looked at on the daily. And overall, bigger picture, no huge red flags at this given moment. Especially if you zoom out to the weekly chart. I think I talked about this for many, many weeks, right? Even like 4 weeks ago when the price was down here, I said there's a good chance that we're gonna bounce because of the weekly trend change, right? First weekly trend change we ever had over here in like 2 years, right? Higher low, higher high trend change, and look how much follow through we got on the higher high. This was a 80% bounce, right? So because of the size of this weekly retracement, even we got a big drop, the most likely scenario this is gonna bounce from here. Obviously, I didn't know it was gonna break this high. This could have been a big bounce in an equilibrium and tiny range and then bounce. But this is pretty much just a weekly trend follow through. If you show me this chart on the 5-minute, I'll be like, yeah, this is most likely scenario that's gonna bounce as well over here. Yeah, weekly up, first weekly uptrend confirmed down here, and now it's falling through and it's still continuing. Let's see. Yeah, it's a big move. So right now, if we do pull back all the way down to here, right, that longer term trend line, this bounce over here, come down to here, then the most lucky scenario for me is probably a tiny range now, because this move up is a lot smaller than this move up. So if we gave back, let's say 70%, then we're looking for more like a tiny range potentially over here. If we come down all the way to test down here, but we'll see. There's still a lot of room, right? We don't want to be guessing, right? Still a 15% drop down here. This could just be a let's see. This could be a weekly bull flag. Although we kind of cracked through it, but the idea is still there, right? Let's say we gap up right away, Sunday overnight. We don't even go below here. That could still be a weekly bull flag, which means it would just likely go like that, flag up a little bit, and potentially break out. So a couple possibilities here for bulls and bears on both sides. For now, this falling wedge is still intact. Let's see where it goes. All right, if you guys want to learn more about technical analysis, be more consistent trader, check out the Patreon link where I teach advanced price actions as well as psychology of trading. If you guys just want to learn how to rewire your old habits, all that kind of stuff, book that free 15-minute free call with me and let's talk more about it. All right, let's look at oil. So oil here, really doing not that much. Overall, wrong chart. Let's look at oil here. Yeah, not doing that much. Pretty much, we're looking at chip chop again, right? Continuing range trade. Talked about this for very well. Bigger picture, range trade for me. Overall, balance, still balance at the moment. But let's zoom in a little bit and see if there's any signs of any kind of like, bull momentum or bear momentum. So I wouldn't really trade this at this moment, right? Look how choppy it is. We zoom in, even on the daily, right? It's you get these moves and then you give it right away, you give it this move and you get it back all the way, and then it just. Although the bears are definitely winning here, right? It's you got a breakout here of this tiny range, right? This red line where resistance, breakout, give it all back, try to back test it as support, right? You try to bounce off of it here like for 5 days, reject from it, back test, can't get over it, down we go. We talked about this last week. I said we can't get over here, we're going lower. We're going to come down to test these highs, which we did. So we tested these highs at this moment. Got a bounce, but still another lower high. So if we keep making these lower highs, meaning the high is lower than the prior high, just a daily downtrend continuation, right? You don't want to fight the momentum at this moment, but we are coming into support. Let's say we come down a little bit lower, right down to these levels, then it could be a buy zone, right? You could play the bounce of the range, where you add down here and potentially look for back above the range because it's been a range trade for a while, right? Every time we come down to these levels, lower levels, we bounce, right? Come up to these higher levels, we reject. But it's a very volatile name. So I'm gonna say volatile. It's more like a very choppy name, right? Just chip chops. You had to sit through this whole how many months? This October to December to get this move, right? And then if you hold it even longer, then you give it all back, right? It's like not very good for swing trading. For day trading, right? You can zoom in. You zoom into the small time frame. You can get big moves, of course, both ways, for sure, right? Definitely, um, definitely worth day trading it. But for longer term swings, I wouldn't recommend it at all. All right, let's take a look at US dollar here. All right, so coming to this support here, what we talked about last week, saying probably going to bounce because this is a price support. Bounce, 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 bounce. So right now, let's take a look to see bulls. This is pretty much bulls' first big bounce, right? In this entire drop. So now they have enough room on this higher low, on this pullback. They could potentially set higher low and a higher high because now they have enough room. But We are still below resistance, so rejection, rejection, rejection. So let's see if we come up here. It's going to reject again. And we might just chip chop, tighten up again a little bit overall. So very news sensitive, right? A lot of tariff news could potentially change these right away as well. I got a pop here the last couple of days. This is a structure it needs to break for bears, right? This low is pretty much the volume node, or is the most traded area in this structure. So if we do pop and then drop kind of like this, then this move is kind of not that significant for bulls, right? If you zoom out to the weekly, we're still in a weekly downtrend. Go down, weekly lower high, weekly lower low, it's weekly downtrend. So if you get a big enough bounce, there could still be a weekly continuation lower, right? So what I need to see is we shape up a daily uptrend here, or more confident that we're going to test these pivots. Otherwise, we're still in a weekly downtrend. So be cautious of that if you are a dollar bull. All right, let's take a look at gold and silver. All right, let's see here. A lot of sirens today for some reason. All right, so big weekly drop. Not surprised. Right, we are pretty much went up weekly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 straight weeks without even dropping below the prior week. You can see every single candle. It's above the prior week, except this week. So let's zoom in a little bit. This is technically a weekly bull flag still. Yeah, we just touched 0.382. So we bounce here and tighten up like this. Bulls are absolutely fine. And this low is currently prior all-time high. So bulls want to hold this level for sure. And then forming that weekly bull flag, affirming the prior structure. So if we can affirm this prior high as support, prior resistance now becomes support, that's the best case scenario for bulls at this spot. After an 8-week move up, and then you get a 3% drop, bull flag weekly, that's absolutely the best. Obviously, weekly bull flag is going to take a couple weeks because it's a weekly chart. But if you're a long-term holder, that's what you want to see, right? Strong move up, then go sideways consolidation. All right, let's take a look at the zoom in a little bit for short-term traders. So for the daily, right, you want to, for bears, you want to form a daily downtrend for longer-term consolidation, right? This is a big drop, but this could just be, that weekly bull flag here. So if you give me a lower high, right, you get a weak bounce, lower high, give me a daily bear flag, and a lower low cracking through this prior low, breaking through this prior all-time high as well. Then I'm like, okay, then we probably gonna come down a little bit lower to this 2793 zone to back test this resistance, prior resistance level zone right here, right, coming down all here, and then we'll see where that goes. If we get a big retracement, like a 70% all the way down here, then I'm just looking for a tiny range. But that's a lot to ask for bears at this moment. Bounce pretty much right here. That's a weekly bull flag on the table. So for you bulls, to keep on watching that. Right, if you bounce right here right away, and then watch out for that weekly bull flag where we kind of just go like this, bounce a little bit on the daily, pull back a little bit, and then go like this, sideways a little bit, and then form that flag. But for now, we closed low of the day, so there may be more downside, but we did get a tiny bounce right here on the hourly. You can see a little bit of a reaction here. So we actually do have an hourly uptrend. So this reaction is right off that prior all-time high level. Bounce, higher low, higher high. So we actually have an hourly uptrend here. So there's a chance we actually get that bounce right away overnight on Sunday. So we'll see. And for bears, you just want to see the crack through that level and the break through there, this level, right? Even if we're gonna go a little bit lower, we probably need a little bit of temporary relief bounce and then go like that. So keep it on watch at this level, very key. This low. Let's see if silver has picked up its relative strength or not. Nope. So silver's still relatively weak overall, relative weakness. You can see just from this 3-day drop, silver is back all the way down to here, which is gold for here, this structure, right? This little structure here. is where it bounced. 15% bounce. Pretty much give it half, almost all of it back. Right, it's only up 6%. So yeah, so it's still relatively weak. Right, if you're a bull, play gold. Just size up on gold. You'll have a much better time sleeping. Right, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Every high it's lower than the prior high, and then it breaks over here. Right, then you can stop out or whatever, or hold your long term holder, doesn't matter. Versus this, right? You don't even know where the heck it's going. Right, it's like up and down, and next thing you know, you're stop out again. This chop comes all the way back, and then goes without you, and then now you guys give it all back because you fall back here again because it went without you, and then now you're in the red. Right? It's just not great of a chart to trade on the bull side. I understand that it's like a more volatile name, moves a bigger percentage, right? You might get a bigger gain if you're a smaller account, but it's good for scalping, right? You see gold making new all-time highs over here, right? Right when we broke this low right here, making new all-time highs. All the metal bulls are FOMOing, and then you get it right here, right? You can play that short-term momentum, right? If you're seeing all the metals strong, gold breaking all-time high, play that move, right? Play that move for short-term and get out. For swing trading, gold is definitely a lot better. Let's zoom in a little bit, see anything so far. Not really. I mean, gold has been weak for the last 3 days, right? So obviously silver is going to follow it, especially being the relative weaker name. So bear minimum for me, I want to see the hourly uptrend come from here, not for, hasn't confirmed for gold, but it doesn't really matter if gold confirms that hourly uptrend and get a big bounce. Silver's going to at least get a temporary bounce as well. So mainly still follow gold overall if you're trading other metals. Kind of like trading stocks, and then you're looking at the indice. You want to look at S&P 500 and Qs while you're trading other names to see if there's relative strength or weakness. It's kind of like that, looking at gold while you're trading other metals overall. All right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I will see you guys next week. And check out that stock market video from yesterday if you guys are into stock market. And have a great rest of you guys' weekend. And yeah, take care.